Hey guys, it's Allie, and it is June, which means it is Pride Month. So happy Pride Month to everyone in the LGBTQIA+ community, all the allies, and pretty much, everyone. So this video is, as you can tell by the title, a bit different from my typical content, but I decided to do a deep dive into American Girl's history with representation for the LGBTQ+IA community. So the reason I decided to make this video is that one of my favorite doll YouTubers, who's probably actually watching this video, Darling Dolls, they make just overall doll related content, not specifically American Girl, but American Girl is occasionally featured in their videos. Darling Dolls recently posted a video called A Brief History of LGBT Fashion Dolls, and it is a very great video, very informative, so definitely make sure to check that video out if you haven't already. That will be in the description. And unsurprisingly, it didn't really feature American Girl because American Girl is not really known for having a bunch of LGBT representation. However, as an American Girl channel, I decided to do a bit of digging to make my own version of this video, but more so specifically about American Girl brand, and I'm going to be talking about books and things like that, as within the dolls themselves, there unfortunately is not a lot of LGBT representation. Plus, with all of the drama that is currently going on Instagram, as of me recording this, there are news articles about it now, all of that stuff. I feel like we need to spread some love, some pride in the AGTube community as well. So without further ado, let's get into the history of American Girl and LGBT representation. So unfortunately, American Girl only has a few cases of confirmed by the company LGBT representation. So I am actually going to start this video by talking about some speculation and fan speculation about things that American Girl has done or released that fans are like, this might be LGBT, or this character might actually be queer. But of course, it's not confirmed by American Girl themselves. The first thing I'm going to talk about is Molly's recent re-release. Now, if you have been living under a rock, American Girl on June 1st of 2022 re-released Molly, and they actually made a post on their Instagram about it, and their caption was, "To all the Molly girls in the world, we see you, we celebrate you, a classic is back." Seems innocent enough, right? Well, fans went a little bit wild, and there were news articles written about this re-release, such as the one from The Cut. They are pretty much saying that with this caption and Molly being re-released at the start of Pride Month means that American Girl is secretly hinting that she is gay or a part of the community. But American Girl did shut up all of that speculation, as American Girl responded to The Cut by saying, "The new Molly collection releasing today is simply aligned with when all of our new summer products are debuting. Nothing more." So even though American Girl has not confirmed that Molly is gay, you never fully know. Maybe the social media manager is secretly wanting to make that happen. I don't know. Another American Girl character who has not officially been confirmed as part of the LGBT community, but a lot of fans speculate is part of it, is Kit Kittredge. There have been articles posted online ranking the dolls based on gayness, and Kit is often very high up on lists like that. She has short hair, she even dresses up in disguise as a boy, and people are saying there might be a little love story between her and Ruthie, which is actually another common theme altogether. Fans love to ship the best friend dolls together, and even though they are quite young in the stories, like, you don't really need 10-year-olds dating each other. Maybe when they grow up and all the events that take place after the books, the best friends do end up being lovers, but of course all of that is just fan fiction, fan speculation. None of it has been confirmed by American Girl. There's that. Now, the last thing I'm going to talk about in terms of speculation, it's kind of like a good bridge between confirmed representation and speculated, but I think it's also very unintentional. So I did make a video all about American Girl pets last year, deep diving into them. And in that video, I talked about Coconut. Coconut is the white furry dog mascot of American Girl, found in outfits and accessories throughout the 2000s. And when Coconut released in the year 2000, he was marketed as a boy. But in 2001, they ended up changing Coconut to a girl, and from there on out marketing Coconut as a girl. So even though, of course, it's a dog, American Girl has never confirmed that Coconut is trans, but because of the time of year, I've been seeing a bunch of memes on social media about Coconut being trans and a trans icon, so I thought that little thing was funny and I want to mention it in the video. Okay, Now for what you're all really here for, the confirmed representation by American Girl, and unfortunately there is not a lot, especially in the doll line of things. So the most well-known case of representation from American Girl is Girl of the Year 2021, Kira Bailey's aunt. So when Kira released in 2021, she caused quite an uproar. Yes, another blonde, white, Girl of the Year doll, but she did have two family members, her aunts, Mammy and Lynette, who were LGBT. They were married to each other. So even though the community, for the most part, praised the story of Kira for its representation, a lot of conservative parents and companies such as 1 Million Moms have been boycotting Kira and are very, very upset. And they're like, you should not be exposing our kids to this stuff. So that might be one of the reasons why, unfortunately, American Girl doesn't really produce more LGBT dolls and products and things like that, because at the end of the day, they're a company, they're in it for money, and if by providing representation they're gonna lose money, unfortunately, they just won't provide that representation. Though this whole storyline is quite minor in Kira's books from what I've heard, it was also included in the animated series for Kira that they made when she was released. Now, I actually do have a quote from the book that somebody sent me. So according to Kira's book, I'm not sure if this is book 1 or book 2, I would assume book 1 because it seems like an intro. It says, Aunt Mamie and Auntie Lynette have been my aunties since before I was born, but they only got married a few years ago, after the law was changed to allow it. This is Australia, by the way. And there is a photo of the two of them getting married. So yes, it's just a very minor detail. However, a lot of people did take offense with this minor detail, unfortunately. So moving away from Kira, we are going to talk about the World by Us line. Throughout the World by Us line, in products such as the community center and the mini fridge, there are very subtle references to the LGBT community. So both the fridge and community center come with sticker sets, and the stickers have activism themed prompts on them and things like that, such as a rainbow heart and a poster saying "Let Love Win." There's even a sign on the community center that says "All are welcome," written in rainbow letters, and you can even see those shades of light blue and light pink that are often used in the trans community. So even though it's not directly like LGBT, it's very obvious that they are trying to promote LGBT activism. After all, the whole theme of this doll line is activism and representation. But of course, it's not too in your face, because if they did that, conservative moms would be outraged. And for some reason, Kira's gay aunts sparked a bunch of controversy in the mainstream, but I haven't been able to find any news articles talking about these stickers. So it's more subtle, so I'm gonna assume that's why. So unfortunately, in terms of the American Girl doll lineup, that is about all of the representation I can find. It sucks, but giving the products that have been released in the past few years, I am hoping for more representation. A trans doll would be amazing, or someone who has a sibling or parents in the LGBT community would be amazing. But of course, if they make it too direct, all the conservative moms will not buy, and these groups will boycott American Girl. It just sucks, and at the end of the day, they're probably in it for money because capitalism. But I do want to talk about the representation in books, not necessarily related to the dolls, but things like Smart Girl's Guide. So I grew up with a bunch of the American Girl books. They were available in Canada before the dolls were, so my mom always bought me the Smart Girl's Guide books. And I was doing my research just to see all the titles out there, and I noticed there was a book called A Smart Girl's Guide to Understanding Her Family. And I actually owned this book, so I went through the book, saw my old handwriting from when I was probably 10 or something, and it was so messy. But I was mainly skimming through the book to see if any of the illustrations represented families with two moms or two dads. But all that I saw were families with either just one parent portrayed or both parents, one being a male and one being a female, which sucks. I wish there was more representation, but that book was also published in the early 2010s when gay marriage was not as accepted in USA. I'm not sure when it became legal in USA. I am Canadian, so I know it became legal here way before USA. Another of these Smart Girls books that I unfortunately do not own in my collection is A Smart Girl's Guide to Boys. This is all about navigating crushes, relationships, things like that. In 2014, they revised the book and renamed it A Smart Girl's Girl's Guide to Crushes, so it can include people of all different gender identities and sexualities. Somebody was nice enough to send me a screenshot of some of the information in the book, and it is a little Q&A page, and it says, question, do all girls like boys? And the answer is no. Some girls get crushes on other girls, some get crushes on both boys and girls, others don't get crushes at all. The same variety exists with boys, it's all normal. So even though they are not blatantly advertising this book like, here's all of the LGBT relationship advice you will ever need, I am grateful that they are at least mentioning it, especially for kids who are reading the book and maybe their parents didn't inform them about all this relationship stuff. They can still learn about it's okay to be a girl and like another girl and things like that. The second question on the page is, do you have to announce whether you're straight or gay or whatever, like on a sign-up sheet? And they answer, no. The point is not to find the right label. The point is to understand what makes you happy. So just pay attention to your feelings and form the relationships that seem right to you. If the day comes when you want to embrace a word for that, then you can do so then. And I think it's great that American Girl is being like, experiment, and you do not have to label yourself straight away. Another book that features representation in this series is The Smart Girl's Guide to Body Image. And it includes topics such as describing gender versus sex, body dysmorphia, trans people, and things like that. Once again, somebody was nice enough to send me screenshots about this, and it even talks about labels like non-binary. And if you want to read these articles and pages in more detail, feel free to pause, but I think it's great that we are seeing a little bit more representation in these books. As of June 6th, 2022, that is unfortunately all of the LGBT representation I can find in American Girl's products. I really wish there was more, especially in the play line of dolls and things like that. Hopefully, American Girl will add more LGBT representation into their products, but who knows. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if I did miss anything for whatever reason, feel free to comment it below. My channel, this is a safe space, so please let's keep the comment section nice and friendly as well. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to my channel for more videos and ring that bell if you want to be notified whenever I post a new video. Happy Pride, everybody. Have an amazing day, and I will see you soon with a new video. Bye!